Huge day in politics tomorrow. 3 big primaries in West Virginia, Mountain Mama, Indiana, and Ohio. They represent some of the GOP's best hopes for unseating incumbent Democrats, and the president won all 3 states in the 2016 race. But the one getting the most attention, of course, is West Virginia. President Trump tweeted, "To the great people of West Virginia, we have, together, a really great chance to keep making a big difference. Problem is, Don Blankenship, currently running for Senate, can't win the general election in your state. No way. Remember Alabama. Vote Representative Jenkins or Attorney General Morrissey." Blankenship responded shortly after with a statement saying, quote, "I am Trumpier than Trump." Okay, buddy. So how is this all going to shake out, and what will it mean for November? With me now, CEO of American Majority and former presidential writer for George W. Bush, Ned Ryun, is here, along with Fox News political analyst and former candidate for DNC chair, Jehmu Greene. Welcome to you both.
Thanks, Kennedy.
Hi, Kennedy.
Hi, Jehmu. Good to see you. Okay, so Ned, I will start with you. Don Blankenship, in some polls, has a little bit of an advantage over Evan Jenkins and Mr. Morrissey. Stop me. Oh, ho, ho, stop me. Stop me if you think you've heard this one before.
Oh, my gosh. I'm saying a prayer the Republican voters in West Virginia don't shoot themselves in the foot tomorrow. The last thing we need, Kennedy, is a rerun of Alabama, where we had a deep red state. We had a chance to win a Senate race, and we ended up putting a deeply flawed candidate, ended up losing the seat. And the most important thing that voters in West Virginia need to understand when they go to the polls tomorrow, they need to have 3 words in their heads, Kennedy: judges, judges, and judges. Trump's great legacy could be reshaping the federal bench by appointing young Federalist Society judges who can be on the bench for a generation, deconstruct the administrative state. But unless the Republicans keep the Senate, he can't do that. And they can't keep the Senate if they put up terrible, deeply flawed candidates in the fall elections. And so I hope, especially in West Virginia, they understand Don Blankenship cannot be the nominee. I'll take Morrissey. I'll take Jenkins. It cannot be Blankenship, because just a few weeks ago, Manchin was down by 9 points to a generic Republican. This is one of the best opportunities that Republicans have to take a seat. Don't screw it up tomorrow, voters in West Virginia, please.
Yeah, and I mean, Alabama, obviously crimson red, now has a Democratic senator because of, similar candidacy issues, Jehmu. But you say the Democrats are wise to not count their chickens before they hatch. There's still a lot that could happen between now and the midterms. What do Democrats have to do right?
Well, certainly start by not resting on our laurels. I think if you look back 2 years ago, Democrats never would have imagined being in this position where we are closer to being able to take back the Senate, as well as how good it looks in the House. But we can't get ahead of ourselves. But, oh, my gosh, thank goodness Donald Trump is learning. Can we just stop and appreciate that for a second? That he understands the threat that Blankenship poses to the Republicans in the Senate. So I think that's great for America. But Republicans, Kennedy, when did criminality become a prerequisite for nomination in red states? This is crazy. The front runner in West Virginia,
and that's a really good point, Jehmu, and also people who say,
sentence.
Yeah, and can he vote for himself? And Don Blankenship is saying, don't tell us how to run our state. It's like, no, if you want to keep the Senate and you're a Republican, let someone tell you not to nominate one of these yahoos. Last word, Ned.
Yeah, no, I'm going to state something very obvious, a Captain Obvious moment, Kennedy. You probably shouldn't nominate somebody to be your candidate in the general who's been in prison sometime in the last 10 years. And so I hope that people understand
I'm
Blankenship
all for criminal
is a non-starter.
justice reform, but this guy, he's truly out of his gourd. Jehmu and Ned, thank you both so much.
10 years, he's checking into his parole officer still.
Oh, that's hot.
Come on.
Nice.